Welcome. You have been invited here tonight because you belong to a small group of people who have proven themselves worthy to honor one of the greatest men who ever lived. Master Chief, Petty Officer of the Navy, John 117. My name is Major Jack Waters of the UNSC Navy, and I will be your host during this memorial service. I first got to know about John as I was stationed with Section 2 of the Office of Naval Intelligence, the Propaganda Division. My very first assignment was releasing details of the Spartan 2 program to the public in order to boost morale throughout the UNSC, 30 years after the program was first launched. Mankind was fighting a war against a superior enemy and in desperate need of heroes. The Spartan program was the answer to our prayers when we needed it the most, giving us soldiers that were larger than life, ready and willing to tackle any obstacle put in front of them. Rumors of our new troops, of course, spread like wildfire even before our official statement, but quickly grew into something completely different. Once everyone was aware of the greatness of our Spartans, and John 117 was the epitome of Spartan excellence. He was a great example to showcase the competence of our elite forces. Warfare like we had never seen before. More than just super soldiers. And even though John was arguably not the fastest nor the strongest of the Spartans, in 2552 he became the most decorated war veteran in the history of the United Nations Space Command, earning every medal in the UNSC except the Prisoner of War medal. So it is safe to say that bravery was his biggest virtue, along with a healthy dose of luck. At ONI, I was responsible for keeping the near mythical level of the Spartans maintained within the military. Therefore, I have yet to list John 117 as killed in action. As a Spartan, he can only be presumed MIA, missing in action. So tonight is not an act of mourning or regret. We have never truly lost the Master Chief. It is a chance to give thanks and pay respect, to honor and pay tribute to a man that has meant a lot. Not only to us gathered here tonight, but to millions of people across the world, from Seattle to Seoul. So once again, welcome. It is time to give the legend, Master Chief, a proper salute. The colony world, Eridonis II, year 2513. The idyllic rural landscape and absence of crowding or pollution very well means this could be a paradise for its population. But the planet is in turmoil. The rebels have overthrown the civilian government, and in Elysium City, the residents are awaiting a counterattack from the UNSC. The dream of a paradise is elusive. This was the birthplace of a young boy destined for greatness. When the UNSC attacked the rebels in Elysium City, he was only 2 years old and far from the battlefield. But soon enough, war would be everything he knew. 4 years later, John was handpicked to be part of something that would change his life forever. The battlefield would become his new home. Officers and doctors, his new parents. He had begun his journey to become John 117. Dr. Catherine Halsey was the mastermind behind the Spartan II program. She was convinced a time would come where a special division of super soldiers would be needed. So in year 2517, she personally handpicked 75 six-year-old children who had shown exceptional genetic and psychological performances. They were kidnapped, not even given the chance to consider their participation, and forced into a training regimen of exhausting exercise. The young children were fed cocktails of growth hormone in order to prepare them for the biological augmentation and enhancements they would undergo years later. Memories of their families back home soon began to vanish, and instead, a strong bond between the soon-to-be Spartans evolved. The first encounter with the Covenant was made on planet Tribute in year 2524. We were not prepared, not ready, and still a people in conflict with ourselves in a gruesome civil war. The cadets underwent their Spartan II augmentation the following year. Of the 75 candidates, only 33 survived the process to become active duty Spartans. Others were not so lucky, ending up disfigured or dead due to the extensive operations. This was the second time John 117 had lost his family. And the very first, he was faced with mortality. He was given no time for grief for his fallen comrades, as the Spartans were immediately dispatched on their first mission. In year 2530, his home planet, Eridonis II, was destroyed by the Covenant, taking every trace of his past life with it. It did not take long for John to become the established leader of the Spartan 2's blue team. He was in many ways essential. To other Spartans, he was a trusted and respected leader, always one step ahead of the pack. To other UNSC soldiers, he was like a Valkyrie, a mysterious and inspiring savior when death seemed close at hand. To civilian humans, he was like a titan coming to the rescue. And to his enemies, a demon capable of untold terror. He was persistent to complete any mission at hand, often disregarding his own personal safety in order to win. Indeed, he often emerged victorious from situations many would consider impossible. But still, not even a Spartan is devoid of fear. John simply acknowledged it, put it aside, while never openly showing it. This can be a dangerous trait for any soldier. But John always had his bravery and luck to rely on. Which means he also became known as a man of his word and strived to keep any promise he made, even at great personal risk. Because of his superior strength and enviable features, both as a soldier and fellow human, John was the Atlas of our time, with the weight of the world constantly on his shoulders. He carried us through the human covenant war, being one of our most important heroes and icons. Despite this, he once said that no soldier should be honored for doing what is expected. But we all know John is more than a soldier. It is rather hard to comprehend how much John has meant to mankind. The hard facts tell us that he has saved humanity on numerous occasions. The medals he has been awarded show of his compassion and bravery. Still, there's so much more to it. Things that are harder to explain or verify. The Spartan teams are known all across the world. As a result of this, warfare itself changed. People have looked at the Spartans for years, trying to duplicate their success. But the original has always been one step ahead of the competition, victorious in every outcome. The Master Chief himself has become an icon for a movement way bigger than any soldier before or after him. So it's difficult to put it into words exactly how much John 1:17 has meant for us. But it is a great lot indeed. The Master Chief went missing in action after destroying replacement installation 04 and disappearing into the slip space portal that shut while Forward Unto Dawn was still passing through. John and Cortana were presumed dead as they did not make it back to Earth. In his honor, an immense monument was built in the Museum of Humanity to pay tribute to the hero who brought mankind back from the brink. The monument commemorates the man who gave the world faith, who gave humanity a future, who made mankind believe again. Master Chief, Petty Officer, John 117. What does the future hold for a people who have lost their most valuable asset? A man who respected life and strongly believed that his actions worked for the greater good. How can we fill that void? How can we move on without the strength of a titan behind us? Are we left exposed because we relied on one person for too long? Did we take the great endeavors of the Master Chief for granted? Will we ever know what a world with him still present would look like? A true Spartan never gives up. A true Spartan is relentless, determined, brave, and in control of himself. But there was one Spartan with an additional trait. His luck was matched only by his courage. He came back when all seemed lost, when we had all lost hope. He will continue to lead his people into greatness.